pointing out that like I saw you from over there, it's just pointless. It just says this is a pickup. Okay, drop it. You can even drop it, I saw you if you wanted to, but hey, I wanted to come introduce myself. Okay. Right? You don't have to explain you saw her. Obviously you saw her, right? If you want to say I saw you though, I don't mind that as much because it's just filler. It just like lets her get used to the fact there's a conversation going on before you say the thing. So I don't mind that one as much. But I saw you from across the street, or I saw you from outside and had to come in and talk to you, that's very much like this is pickup in progress. Yeah, if you physically are catching your breath and it's clear you ran over, then you may as well own it. But don't try and point it out if you don't have to. Okay? Yeah. All right. So is it awful or terrible? No, but it's slightly leveling. So you had an opportunity to be at this value. Well, first of all, opening from behind, leveling, right? You opened and you got her attention, which is good. You're bold enough and you were loud enough and you did those things to get her attention, but you did it at a weird approach angle. You weren't patient to just get up ahead and trust yourself, right? So that's leveling a little bit. Not awful in and of itself, but leveling a little bit. Then this I saw you from downstairs. Not awful in and of itself, but leveling a little bit. So each one of these is like you're chiseling away at your value just very slightly in a way you didn't need to. So the funny thing is leveling isn't entirely bad. So there's like awful game, and then there's leveling. So most leveling moves have a purpose in game. Most leveling moves do help you in some, or could help you in a certain context with a certain caliber of girl. Because these things they are moving things forward, right? So having rapport with the girl is a good thing, right? There is a benefit to it, but you're giving away power, giving away value in creating it. And so it's one of those things, it doesn't say you're like a 1. It doesn't say you're like an awful, unattractive guy or a guy that's incompetent with girls or whatever, but it also just specifically says I'm not a 10. Literally what leveling means is a leveling behavior is something that just indicates your exact level. So it just screams I'm a 7 or I'm a 4 or I'm a 5. Okay, so it screams I'm pretty good at game but not great. Think of it as though everything coming out of your mouth, there's the literal meaning of it, and then there's this little undertone in the background that says like, so I say a line and then like a little bit in the background saying 9. And then I say another line that says 7, another line 10, another line 7, right? So everything you say, it's kind of like there's a value associated with it. And a lot of those are not like strong values. Like a lot of things you say and it could say you're anywhere from a 7 to a 10. But there are certain things you say that are very cemented on like, I am a 7. It's like a strong declaration of where you're at. That's a leveling behavior. And if the girl's below the level you've indicated you're at, she'll probably like you for that leveling behavior. If she's above that level, she'll probably dislike you for that leveling behavior. Right? So what I mean by leveling though, is not that it's the worst behavior in the world, it's that it screams, I'm at this level. What you're doing right there, have you ever heard of the trying for rapport, neutral rapport, breaking rapport?
Trying for rapport.
You're literally trying for rapport. Oh, look how much we have in common. What are the odds? She's like, yeah, we have so much in common, right? The person who's seeking to have a lot in common with the other person is typically the lower value person, right? The person who's like, look how much we have in common. It makes sense. We should be friends. It's fate, right? That's a very needy frame to take. That's a very try hard, I want you, I don't want to say desperate, but it's that kind of frame, right? It's a very leveling frame. It's good that you have that thing in common, but you're making it too big of a thing and you're like way too happy about it. You're like, yes, I found something like that I can use to build rapport with her. So, I mean, different things like different ways you could handle the same thing would be like, no, shit, no, you're not, right? No, I know New York. You really? Like that kind of thing where instead of being like, would be like, no, wait, that's my city. These are like ways that you can indicate that similarity without it being so like, let's be the same, let's be fated to be together. You see the difference in frame? None of this is super awful in and of itself, right? It's all completely valid game that could work. But in the first 30 seconds of the set, you have leveled yourself 3 times. So you've given 3 indicators that you're not a 10. That makes sense? And it'll work fine on a lot of girls. And it'll work fine on a lot of girls, especially of like cute and like that kind of caliber. But on the really hot girls, they're gonna see through this stuff and they'll be like, not a 10.